Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortense Carty.
We want to thank you guys for joining us for yet another episode of Good Morning SKN. Hopefully you had a great week and we are ready to start it. What do we have coming up today, Cortense?
We have Cosbert Woods and Mistress Wendy Elliott Williams. We have This Day in History. We have our Loosen Up. We have so much. So they have to stay tuned to find out everything that we have in store for them today on this lovely Monday morning.
Right here on GMSK.
Indeed.
All right, we proceed now to the latest in local news. This from SKNIS. Two non-governmental organizations or NGOs are poised to execute two community projects in St. Kitts under the Women's Employment, Entrepreneurship, and Financial Inclusion Project being administered by the Technical Mission of the Republic of China on Taiwan. A contract signing ceremony was held on Friday, October 21st at the National ICT Center to formally provide funding for the projects Hustle and Grow and Empowering Women Living with Non-Communicable Diseases, or NCDs. Hustle and Grow is implemented by TAB SKN Limited under the leadership of Managing Director Gardenia Destang Richardson. The project will see women who were previously trained developing projects and pitching their ideas for funding. The idea merges the two concepts of two U.S. television shows, The Apprentice and Shark Tank. Mrs. Destang Richardson said that while everyone may not be successful, all will gain invaluable experience and knowledge that will help their future endeavors. Project Empowering Women Living with Non-Communicable Diseases will be executed by Lake Health and Wellbeing and its program director, Abby Begum. The project delivers training and capacity building for women, empowering them in various areas, including financial responsibility and managing their illness while living well.
Indeed.
All right, it's two great projects.
Yeah, no one's left out. That's very good. Farmers and fishers recognized for their contribution to food security at the 2022 Food Heroes Awards ceremony. This from Win Media. Crop and livestock farmers as well as fishers were on Thursday, October the 20th, recognized for their invaluable contribution to food security in St. Kitts and Nevis at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Resources annual Food Hero Prize Giving ceremony. This year's event, held at the St. Kitts Eco Park, was attended by farmers and fisherfolk and a number of dignitaries, including the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Resources, the Honorable Samuel Duggins, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, Attorney General, the Honorable Gart Wilkin, the Honorable Iselin Phillip, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Miguel Fleming, and staff of the Agriculture Department. In delivering remarks, Minister Duggan said, and quote, "I say congratulations, not because of the awards you are receiving, but for your invaluable service in feeding the nation. When the world was shocked by the devastating effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, along with the disruption of the food supply chain, countries started to look within in terms of how farmers and fishers would be able to feed the nation. Luckily, we were not severely affected, but we should never allow ourselves to be caught off guard," end quote. And that is correct.
Absolutely great, and it's great to honor the people who contribute on that front as well. All right, moving on. St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board appointed, this from SKNIS. The Ministers of Cabinet have approved the appointments for the members of the St. Christopher and Nevis Social Security Board. The Social Security Board members are as follows. Chairperson, Ms. Janet Harris, a certified public accountant, CPA, and a certified anti-money laundering specialist, Mr. Curtis Martin. Among many things, Mr. Martin worked as the Chief Human Resources Officer at the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank for a combined career period of 26 years. Mrs. Kendra Archibald Woodley, a Fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants with over 15 years' experience in accounting and finance. Ms. Missal O'Brien, an attorney at law and notary public. Ms. Avenel Martin, who has worked in the teaching fraternity for 32 years. And Ms. Irma Petronella Edwards, who has served the government and the people of St. Kitts and Nevis in nursing, public health promotion and administration, health policy and research for over 30 years. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis is intentional in ensuring representation of youth, gender equality, and experience are evident on the various boards.
Yeah, that is good. As he said, they're not on the menu, they are at the table. Now for your weather forecast, it is partly cloudy with a high of 85 and a low of 76. degrees Fahrenheit. It is 84 degrees Fahrenheit at this hour. Take a look at your weekly and hourly forecast. Regional and international news after this break. We advise that you stay tuned.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes. Mommy, uncle not here in the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We continue now with the latest in regional news. Suriname launches zero tolerance policy against bullying. This from Loop Caribbean. The Suriname government has launched a zero tolerance policy against bullying after a 15-year-old student was filmed being assaulted because of his sexual orientation. The Ministry of Education, Science and Culture in Suriname launched the new policy with a stern warning to young people who exhibit intolerant behavior. There has been an outcry in Suriname since the video of the assault went viral, and the student involved in the assault has since been suspended and will receive psychological counseling. The authorities warn that if following the counseling there is no change in his behavior, he will be expelled from school. The Ministry of Education said in the statement, and quote, "The ministry finds this behavior reprehensible and therefore disapproves of it. Everyone has the right to safety and security. Every year, students are confronted with all kinds of violence. Bullying is one of them. Some students have also killed themselves as a result. Although there are warnings that students should not bully each other, they are not heeded. It is more like acting tough on the students to continue this misbehavior." End quote. Acting tough. What's wrong with?
I just appreciate the zero tolerance policy because I think the time has come for us to understand that we ought to be tolerant of certain things. And just because we feel a certain way, we ought not to project those feelings onto anybody else. We are to live in the society together, and we ought to act responsibly. And if we can't teach that to our children, then the future is really looking very dim.
Very grim.
So I'm glad for the zero tolerance policy.
Yes, indeed.
All right, moving on to international news. This from ABC. Israel's Supreme Court on Sunday threw out 4 legal challenges to a landmark maritime agreement between Israel and Lebanon, clearing a major hurdle for the deal that could mark a major breakthrough in relations between the two countries. Lebanon and Israel both claim some 860 square kilometers or 330 square miles of the Mediterranean Sea. At stake are rights over exploiting undersea natural gas reserves. Lebanon hopes gas exploration will help lift its country out of its spiraling economic crisis. Israel also hopes to exploit gas reserves while also easing tensions with its northern neighbor. Critics of the deal, who had appealed to the court, said the current interim government should not be allowed to change Israel's maritime border or make such weighty strategic decisions without an electoral mandate. Eugene Kantorovich of the Coalit Policy Forum, the conservative think tank that had petitioned the court, said, quote, Israel has crossed a fundamental democratic line with a lame duck government agreeing to give up the country's sovereign territory to an enemy state days before an election, end quote. Well, those are fighting words. And as I was saying to you before, when we start talking about maritime borders, we're talking about the territory that is sovereign to nations. And so I can understand, you know, what he would be saying if it stays before an election as well. It's interesting, but again, those are fighting words. Court ruled.
Yeah, and it's funny how we are all fighting for gas or oil.
Well, again, because of what it implies, right? You're talking about economic development.
Yep.
What it means for the country.
Indeed. So up next, we have this day in history. So you have to stay tuned to find out what happened this day in history. Way, way back. Yes.
And tomorrow you'll know what happened today. Anyway.
Indeed.
All right, we'll be back in a moment, guys. Stay tuned.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16, and your daughter at 13. So girl look me, but me know in that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Life as we know it is built upon the premises of historical events. Through the study of history, we learn to appreciate cultures, ideas, and traditions as meaningful products of specific times and places. Today, we will be focusing on a specific time or day over the years in our This Day in History segment. Let's look at some events that took place on this day, the 24th of October, over the course of human history. Could have been human and animal history because this day, the 24th of October, way back, a dinosaur could have decided, okay, today's our last. They're coming to get us. Yeah.
I'm expecting to see somebody come up in a dinosaur costume. Unfortunately, we didn't plan this one. So.
No.
Question is, who would it be?
I know. I think I know the exact person who would rock a dinosaur costume in studio.
This day in history, nobody wore a dinosaur costume to GMSKN, thankfully. So we'll be looking at, as you said, some of the events that took place in this day.
So in 1861, on October 24th, the Western Union Telegraph Company links the Eastern and Western Telegraph networks, completing the first transcontinental line that allows instantaneous communication between Washington, D.C. and San Francisco. Do you realize Washington, D.C. and San Francisco are always in the top?
I didn't realize that. But I guess it makes sense because you're talking about East Coast to West Coast.
Yeah.
Effectively all of America, when you look at it that way.
I wonder if he had on safety harnesses.
Oh, the guy at the top. I didn't even know that was the guy at the top.
There are two guys at the top. I wonder if those are the ones sending the telegraph, so that's why they're so high. What do you think?
I know zero or less about telegraphy, so.
But at least the guys at the bottom are supporting the pole. Well, at least one of them.
This is a really interesting picture, though, I have to say.
Look at that. When it was just black and white.
I'm hoping it was authentic. This is 1861.
Oh. That's cool.
Well, instantaneous communication was important, definitely. So we know that we're using it now even. All right, 1901, on October 24th, the first successful barrel ride over Niagara Falls occurred. I'm sorry, can I stick a pin here? It's the first successful barrel ride. It prompts the question, what happened to the ones before? In any event, the first successful barrel ride over Niagara Falls occurred when Anna Edson Taylor, a school teacher, rode safely over the falls. There's that word again, safely over the falls in a barrel. The ride through the rapids took 18 minutes. And by the way, again, that was the first successful barrel ride.
Yeah.
Can you imagine about the other unsuccessful attempts?
They probably ended up swimming with the fishes alive, but they did swim with the fishes, and then they got out of the water.
I wonder if they timed these things before it's like, okay, we're going for success. Maybe it was a game like, you only lasted 1 minute, dude. I can go for 2. I don't know.
And imagine dressed in all of that.
This is a real sport, to be honest with you. Like, I'm thinking, just looking at it, why would anybody want to go into a barrel over Niagara Falls? Like, who thought this was a good idea back in 1901?
Look at the words on her barrel. Queen of the Mist. So she's
well, yeah, because she could have been the queen who missed it if she failed. She was successful, so she's the queen of the mist.
Queen of the Mist.
Seriously, like, who thought this was a good idea?
The folks that invented it.
I'm pretty sure the other unsuccessful ones, the ones who preceded her attempt, didn't think it was a good idea.
Hey, if they didn't think, then she would not have proceeded.
Oh,
so
really?
her predecessors helped her. How about that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
All right. So not only was she the first woman to do it, she was the first successful writer. Yeah, interesting stuff.
In 1926, on October 24th, Harry Houdini, the world-famous escape artist, performed for the last time at the Garrick Theater in Detroit, Michigan. I wonder why.
No idea.
Got too old?
Well, at least we're not hearing that he performed for the last time and then died there. Because he's a magician who did really interesting things.
What if those parts are left off?
I beg your pardon?
What if those parts are left off?
Oh, you're asking me? I really don't know. Listen,
dude.
The name Houdini, even growing up, it's like you say Houdini and it's like magic.
Yeah.
It came up in every cartoon, even before I knew who Harry Houdini was.
Exactly.
You just figured Harry Houdini, or Houdini as it was a magician who did really cool things, really scary things, things that you would wonder, why would anybody think this is a good idea? But I'm still, captivated by the illusion of it. I think that's what draws me in more than anything else. Thinking that this wasn't really happening. This was all an illusion.
An illusion, but an illusion that seems so real.
Wow.
Yeah. I wonder if Houdini is his birth name or if that name just sounded or matched his the fact that he's creating illusions in our mind?
No idea. Are you thinking like it's a stage name? I don't know anything about
'cause
Houdini.
remember, most of the actresses change their names and actors. It's not
So you
only
think the
their real
magicians
name.
changed? You want to do a poll?
Maybe.
Like
Houdini.
all the magicians, did they change their names?
And some of them only have first name. Siegfried or Roy.
Yeah, David Blaine is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
All right, so 1940, October 24th, the 40-hour work week went into effect. Oh, and we've not been the same ever since. All right, so it went into effect in the United States under the Fair Labor Standards Act signed by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, or FDR, in 1938. And like I said, we've not been the same since because we've adopted our 40-hour work week here as well. Can I get someone to reconsider that? Who's with me on this? Like, seriously.
So how many hours should we work a week? 20?
Sure, if the salaries go up to match the 40-hour work week, I'll be all for that. Definitely so.
If life was that lovely.
For good measure, you throw in overtime at 10 hours. Hey, you're good. You have 10 hours to spare in the week. Awesome.
Oh, wow.
This is normal. 40-hour work week, like 8 hours a day.
But
Like,
those guys seem
seriously.
to be happy because look, they're all smiling.
I guess it was good for the
Yeah.
country. It was good for the economy.
FDR signs the Fair Labor Act. Thank you, Franklin D. Roosevelt. We appreciate you. In 1945, on October the 24th, the United Nations Charter, which was adopted and signed on June 26, 1945, became effective and ready to be enforced.
And that's a very important charter, as we know.
Indeed.
Very important charter, as we know. It continues to govern international affairs for
It's
many
a-
countries. And so breaches of that are also, cause for concern as well.
Don't any punishment.
That's one of the interesting things, sanctions.
Okay.
Some say international law is soft law, and so it doesn't operate the same way as domestic law would. You've got jail, you've got prison, you've got all these other things.
Yes.
What you've got in the international community is reputation for
Yes.
being
That
good
way.
country, reputation for violating the rules, you're getting sanctioned, and some countries are like, some leaders of the countries are like, I don't care. That's why some people
They're
say
like,
it's
yeah,
soft law.
whatever.
Right, but still,
Yeah.
very important mandate. Obviously, it's governing the world, so.
Yeah, and today's actually UN Day. Yeah. The thing I want to know, though, if it's always held on a Monday. Because it's not all the time the 24th will fall on a Monday. Yeah. So thank you to the UN. Ooh.
All right, so 1962, October 24th, James Brown, and you say James Brown, and already we're thinking about electricity here, so electrifying performance that is. So James Brown gave an electrifying performance on Black America's most famous stage, a performance recorded and later released as live at the Apollo 1963, the first breakthrough album of his career. This is interesting because I was looking at, there he is, James Brown, the Apollo. I was looking at a tour of New York City very recently, and they were walking through Central Park. The guy was walking through Central Park, and then he went into Harlem, and he went into the Apollo Theater and what it meant for Black people and all these other things. And absolutely, I think my first recollection of the Apollo was seeing, of course, the masterful Steve Harvey there. And he was hosting, I think it was Showtime at the Apollo. I think he used to host. Yeah.
And you remember the mahogany wood or the stump of the tree that everybody rubs for good luck? Yeah. But you know what I wonder? How James Brown performed so much and kept his perm. It never poofed out. You never realized? The man his perm was always still laid. It never got poofed or it's pressed or whatever it was.
Was that a look?
No.
No, I'm not saying that. As in,
if
like
we
Little
sweat
Richard.
extra, we go with our hair, especially
I've
relaxed
never been-
hair. Wait,
I'm sorry,
I'm
I've
telling
never
you
been-
the story.
So I would just
No, especially with relaxed hair, if you exercise too much and you get a poof. But he was doing all these antics on stage, and his performance was so electrifying, and his hair stayed flat.
Yeah, no static at all. Electrifying performance and never got to the hair.
Never got to the hair. He was just the
Great
bomb.
artist he was.
So on October the 24th, 2005, African-American civil rights activist Rosa Parks, whose refusal to relinquish her seat on a public bus to a white man in 1955 helped ignite the American Civil Rights Movement. She died of natural causes at the age of 92.
One of my favorite reporters, Soledad O'Brien, was actually doing, I think she released it recently on CNN, and I need to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. A story about Rosa Parks, her life, and it was said that she wasn't actually quiet. I think we have these images of Rosa Parks sitting on the bus and just being like soft-spoken, quiet. She's not saying anything, she's just not moving. But actually, from what I understand, based on the promo for it, she wasn't actually very quiet at all. So these are things getting into her lives and her life and her examples that would be really interesting to see.
She's just sweet though. Look at her, sweet. Black really don't crack. She looking nice there, man.
And she lived a long life as well.
Yeah.
92.
95.
Oh, 95.
She is 5. You see, so she made middle age.
Oh, I thought it was 92.
She made middle age at 50 and almost. She missed 100 by fat.
I thought it was 2 quartets. Anyway.
No, 95, literally.
There it is.
92. I thought it was 95. I was hoping it was 95. Okay, guys, I was wrong. It's 92.
Yes.
Okay. 2005, that's what.
Yeah, all right. So 2013, October 24th, 2013, Ethiopia temporarily banned its citizens from traveling abroad to find work. Officials stated that the decision was made to help the welfare of the country's citizens and reduce problems with human trafficking. Well, definitely the latter is a really good reason for it.
But
Seems like an extraordinary ban, though.
Yeah, like they're afraid of brain drain. Maybe that's what they're trying to prevent as well.
Seems like an extraordinary ban.
Wow.
Well, that is all that we have for this day in history. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did. We'll be back in a moment with more GMS SKN. Stay tuned.
These teen boys are so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies, and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom, but my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. So girl look me, but me no in a that. Big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you're entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
Joining us today, we have Cosbert Woods, UN Country Coordinator, and Wendy Elliott-Williams, UNICEF National Country Coordinator from the United Nations, here to speak with us about the United Nations, and in particular, United Nations Day. So thank you both for being here, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome.
Morning.
So it's important for us to discuss, for those who are unaware, of course, of the United Nations Day and its meaning. So what can you share with our viewers about the importance of this day and the history behind it?
Okay, thank you. Well, first off, the United Nations, it's an intergovernmental organization that was established on October 24th, 1945, with 51 members. Today, it currently stands at 193 members, and St. Kitts and Nevis actually became a member of the United Nations on September 22nd, 1983, so just a few days after we would have achieved independence. Now, the purpose of the United Nations is basically to provide a multilateral forum for the various nations to come together, to deliberate on certain matters and agree to take collective actions in relation to matters such as peace and security, promoting human rights, providing humanitarian aid in the event of countries suffering from maybe a natural disaster or emergency situation, promoting climate change and sustainable development, and also in relation to upholding international law. So on the 24th of October, we commemorate the coming into being or the establishment of the United Nations, which is a very special occasion. As it fortifies 77 years, which we're celebrating this year, of collaboration amongst the nations across the world.
So congratulations on the celebration. I know you might have been a mayor 1 year or 2 year old. Do you know why it took St. Kitts so that long to join the UN?
Well, I think it usually corresponds with sovereign nations, right?
Okay.
So that's why it would have been in quick succession after they would have achieved independence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this year's theme is Our Planet, Our Future. Can you explain the significance of this?
Our planet, our future. Well, as you would know, our planet is a very critical commodity for all living creatures, persons, organisms, everything that depends on the life cycle for sustenance and resilience. So hence it's very critical, particularly at a time when we're dealing with mass climate change issues that are affecting our environment, our biodiversity, our marine life, and things of that nature. I'm sure you would have heard the saying 1.5 to stay alive, 1.5 degrees that we have to maintain the Earth's temperature in order to stay alive. So hence it's very critical that nations ramp up their efforts to become more climate conscious, to undertake activities towards climate resilience as well.
Is there anything as a typical celebration of United Nations Day? If so, what does that look like? How is it being celebrated this year?
There's no typical way per se. Every year, my office, which is the UN Resident Coordination Office for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, we discuss potential activities that we can do to commemorate the UN Day. So for instance, we do flag raising ceremonies. So we actually did a flag raising ceremony last year to commemorate the day. Some countries engage in lighting of the buildings. So the UN House in Barbados will be lit blue today with the UN color in commemoration of the day. And some countries take similar activities. I know our Barbados office is undertaking a host of activities, engaging with the community, having some food festivals and sports day activities and so forth. Unfortunately, our numbers here on the ground are pretty small in terms of physical presence, that is. Our footprint here in St. Kitts and Nevis is only 4 persons. So myself, as the country coordination officer, we have a PAHO specialist, Katrina Smith. I'm sure you probably would have interacted with her in some form or fashion in the past because she was very integral in facilitating the rollout of the COVAX vaccinations during COVID. We have a UNDP Small Grants Project Coordinator, Ms. Eilis Watts, and she is very integral in terms of the Small Grants Project and providing numerous grants to various community groups. And our most recent addition is Ms. Wendy Elliott Williams. Yes, our UNICEF program coordinator here on the ground.
Okay. So, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, along with other world leaders, recently attended the United Nations General Assembly. What is this assembly and what is its significance?
Good question. So the General Assembly is one of the 6 organs of the United Nations, so the 6 governance organs. So you have the UN Secretariat or headquarters, which is based in New York. You have the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, a Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and the General Assembly. And the General Assembly is basically that body or that forum, which I mentioned earlier, where all the heads of the nations would come together to deliberate on a number of these matters. And at the General Assembly, these are where resolutions are usually taken in regards to certain global initiatives and actions. One in being the Sustainable Development Goals, the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals that was taken through a UN resolution at the General Assembly level.
All right, so in terms of educating the public as to the role of the UN and its importance, what do you do to get people to realize that it is more than just what some might term a talk shop?
Well, I mean, my role is a new role in the Eastern Caribbean construct. So I'll just give you a quick bit of context. The UN has created what we refer to as UN resident coordination systems, and it's basically a mechanism within the UN development system to better coordinate the efforts of the various UN agencies, funds, and programs at a country level. Now, in the case of the Eastern Caribbean, we have what you call a multi-country office. So it's the UN Resident Coordination Office for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. And my office supports Barbados and the 9 English-speaking OECS countries. And in the 6 independent OECS countries, they would have recruited country coordination officers, of which I am the representative for St. Kitts and Nevis, and I have 5 counterparts in the other OECS countries. And our role basically is to serve as an interlocutor between the government and the various UN agencies to help to mainstream and coordinate the UN programs on the ground. What you would have had happen in the past, and this is not specific to St. Kitts and Nevis, but across the region and even globally, is instances where you may have 1 or 2 UN agencies in country working with stakeholders, executing programs, and the other may not be aware of the extent of the activities ongoing. So with this new coordination system for the region, it is trying to strengthen the delivery of the UN's resources, its services, its development assistance for small island developing states in regards to their implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. So we work with the government, we try and engage stakeholders in terms of civil society and the private sector as well. And we are just trying to increase the knowledge and the awareness. Now, just to say, my role is coordination and not implementation. Right? And that is something that, you know, we have to stress, because the agencies, like my colleague here, Wendy, who represents UNICEF, they're the ones that are doing the program implementation on the ground. And, you know, my role is to assist in bringing the support together. So activities such as this, coming on this program, is part of our promotion. We also have a video/photo montage that we're supposed to be releasing later today, highlighting a number of the UN's programs, recent programs in the Federation, done over a nice spoken word by a local spoken word artist. So very looking forward to having the final production for that, and we'll definitely share that with you all to get, you know, greater viewership as well. Yes.
Much appreciated. When we return from the short break, Wendy will be talking with you all about UNICEF and so much more. More Good Morning SKN in a moment. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I come in Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might broke up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN as we continue this engaging conversations with our UN country representative. And now we will speak on one of their agencies within the UN, UNICEF. So Wendy, it's your turn now. So what about UNICEF and what's their specific role?
UNICEF stands for United Nations Children Fund. There were other International Fund, Education Fund, but now we are United Nations Children Fund. And UNICEF works with governments, civil society, academia, and we are focused on the rights of children, protecting children, recognizing that childhood is a protective and special time. We, for the Eastern Caribbean area, our vision for 2022-2026 is an Eastern Caribbean where children receive appropriate, quality education, they live a life that is protected, free from poverty, violence, abuse. So UNICEF has undertaken several projects in St. Kitts and Nevis, or supported our partners in implementing various projects. Teen mothers in education. Presently, we have 3 new projects, new exciting projects. One recently launched with COSBERT and the other a few other UN agencies, ILO, World Food Program, UNESCO. And this is the joint program, which we are very excited about. It spans 4 OECS countries, including the OECS. This program is entitled the Joint Program on Resilient Caribbean. And what we are trying to do is to support countries to train and engage their youth, and also to improve social protection delivery. We're very excited about this, and UNICEF, we're here. We've been here in St. Kitts and Nevis. There's another program which we are providing technical assistance to, quite new and quite timely, of course. This is technical assistance for child justice and child protection reform. So that will be launching in the new year. Thirdly, we're also providing technical assistance for a youth engagement strategy, looking at climate change and climate resilience. Not just, okay, the youth thinks this or wants this, but actually engaging them, coming up with a strategy of how we can get their voice to influence their lives and wider society life.
Yeah, the future indeed.
So in relation to that last statement, is that the way that UNICEF embodies this year's UN theme? Is that one of the ways that you embody this?
Yes, our focus is on children and youth. The Convention on the Convention on the Rights of a Child, of which St. Kitts and Nevis signed in 1990, we support governments in achieving and implementing that treaty. So working with youth, working with children, addressing poverty issues, and for UNICEF, an area which we are now venturing into, climate resilience, as Cuthbert earlier mentioned, It is a critical area which St. Kitts and Nevis has recognized, and we are lending support to getting the youth voice out there.
The SDGs, we know there are 17 of those.
Yes.
So how do the different offices support countries in achieving these?
The different agents, when you say
Different offices support the countries in achieving these.
Okay, all right. You mean the resident coordination office?
Well, I'm not. It just said different offices.
Okay. Well, in terms of I'll assume that when you refer to offices, you're speaking about the different UN agencies, funds, and programs, right? So in terms of how they support the Sustainable Development Goals, this support is captured in 6 broad areas, right? One, looking at COVID recovery. Now, COVID would have really set back all the nations in terms of the progress and the activities that they were undertaking in regards to implementation of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So a number of programs being coordinated by the various agencies with support from the UN Resident Coordination Office are focusing on matters looking at building back better, working to empower the youth, women, other vulnerable groups in societies to ensure that no one is left behind. Right? Another area of focus is on data management, right? Enhancing data management systems. Now, data is a serious issue. The lack of utilization of data is a serious issue, not only in St. Kitts and Nevis, but in the wider region. And through support from different agencies like UNDP, FAO, UNIDO, we will be working with the government to enhance data management systems to improve our ability to collect, analyze, and utilize data in terms of policy making, right? It's also critical for keeping track of St. Kitts and Nevis's progress on the Sustainable Development Goals, because this is an area where activity is taking place towards achieving the various targets, but not in all instances is the information being captured and reported on. So we want to strengthen that mechanism going forward. Another area looks at supporting climate resilience and support for natural disaster preparedness, response, and recovery as well. Again, being small island developing states or small vulnerable economies, we are very susceptible to climate change and the effects of natural disasters and so forth. So a great emphasis has to be put on building our resilience. The Prime Minister who you had on the program a few weeks ago, you would have heard him speak about developing a sustainable island state or climate resilient state for St. Kitts and Nevis. So that's something that we're very keen on working with the government on to ensure that we can provide the necessary supporting mechanisms. So we're working with agencies such as the Ministry of Environment. NEMA as well is a key partner for us in this endeavor. Digitization, creating a digital economy, a dynamic digital economy for St. Kitts and Nevis. A number of agencies are providing support in that regard to assist us assist the Federation, that is, in digitalizing a number of the services to improve the level of efficiency as well. And social protection, right? I think that is a very critical component. Wendy just spoke about the joint program that we launched, which is geared towards strengthening social protection systems. We also have a number of programs being supported by the Office with responsibility for Human Rights, or Human Rights Council, to work with persons with disabilities and elderly within the Federation. So there is a program that is being coordinated with the Ministry of Social Development that will look at strengthening the awareness amongst the general population with regards to sensitizing them on the issues that persons with disabilities have and how we can better cater to them and ensure that they are able to better participate within society. So that's a project that we'll be rolling out hopefully within the next month.
Lovely.
Well, there's been a lot of information shared, and obviously your work continues beyond this day. So I do want to say here that we definitely hope to keep the lines of communication open.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if there's anything else that comes up that we need to know, you need to share,
yes,
feel free to come and share it with us. It's been our pleasure talking with you this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN, but before we go, we want to thank you again so much for dropping by to help educate the public about the UN and United Nations Day. And we end the segment with a United Nations Day message from Mr. Didier Tribuc, UN Resident Coordinator for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean.
We celebrate this year the UN Charter's 77th anniversary at a time when countries all over the world are facing a triple crisis of food, energy and finance, while still battling climate change and the residual effects of the COVID-19 pandemics. As we join the governments and the people of the Caribbean to build resilience and share responsibility for the world's to-do list, our collective action must continue to turbocharge progress on the SDGs. I want to seize this opportunity to thank the governments of the region for their belief and commitments to multilateralism, its values underpinned by peace and human rights. It cannot be business as usual in this time of uncertainties. You can be assured of the UN commitments to work besides you, to support you in addressing critical challenges like climate change, youth empowerment, digital and green transitions, livelihood and food security. Over the past 2 years, under the UN reform, resilience building and access to financing have been at the core of our cooperation agenda. Against this backdrop of unity and solidarity, the UN has initiated a new cycle of cooperation for the Caribbean, with the economic and people's resilience at its core, to prevent crises and invest in risk reduction, to support countries and adapt to the impact of climate change and build stronger institutions. The UN has spearheaded critical partnerships to that effect. For example, recently with the Caribbean Development Bank to increase access to financing for seeds and to boost climate actions. We're also providing more integrated and tailored policy support for each country by responding as one UN to the needs and strategic priorities. I'm also really thrilled that 2 UN joint offices have been opened in Antigua and Barbuda and St. Vincent and the Grenadines this year, 2022, thereby reaffirming together with the governments our joint commitments. As we look towards the future, I'm truly full of hope when I witness how youth of the Caribbean are stepping up and make their voices heard. It's our responsibility to provide them with the spaces and to work with them. How? By supporting youth participation in the productive sectors, creative industries, research, innovation, and decision-making at the highest level. We place ourselves in a more strategic position to build the level of resilience that we need. I wish to take this opportunity to commend the members of our regional youth advisory group who have been actively engaging with us as UN to ensure that youth perspectives are mainstream in our policies that we promote. 2 members, Pierre Cook and Ronelle King, must also be praised for being named amongst Secretary General's Scaling Up Nutrition Lead Group and Young Leaders for the Sustainable Development Goals. We commend and truly congratulate them. By empowering youth, women, girls, LGBTI community, the elderly, people with disability, indigenous population in the Caribbean, we can further address the multidimensional issues that threaten the progress in the region and ensure that we leave no one behind. On this day, let us all commit to reinvigorate our collective efforts to ensure that all people everywhere are engaged, protected, and supported towards a brighter future.
Death is one of the most obscured concepts to us as human beings. It is something that we witness, but it remains shrouded in so much ambiguity for most of us, except for a number of people around the world who have heard the term near-death experiences. Have you heard about near-death experiences, Jamie?
Have I heard about near-death experiences where, you know, my entire life flashes before my eyes, hypothetically, and there's this white light that I'm supposedly headed to, and sometimes I get there and then I have this conversation with a higher power, God,
and then you come back.
I turn around and I come back because I hear, you know, someone calling me back.
Okay. You've had one of those?
Only in the movies.
There's me being enthralled and like, what? He did that? I have had scenes in my head where I've been fighting for my life to wake up. Like I've been in and out, in and out, in and out, and I'm fighting. Have you not had those? You're sleeping and you want to wake up. So you're in between sleep and wake up, but sleep is trying to
Maybe once.
dull wake up.
But that's not the same as near-death experience. A near-death experience to me, it's like, you know, when you're driving to work and this guy's coming at, you know,
and you see it
to you. Yeah,
My
I think I've
near-death
had some of those
ones.
experiences.
Oh, wow.
Vehicularized.
No, I think of those things like I visualize the accident in my head, even though it's not present.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, literally. So a near-death experience, or a NED, is an altered state of consciousness that people have when they are experiencing a life-threatening event such as a heart attack or a near drowning. While it is unclear how many people around the world have ever had an NED, a near-death experience, they are a rare occurrence. Skeptics suggest that experiences are explainable as natural and predictable hallucinations of a traumatized brain. Wow. But is it possible for hundreds of people to experience such similar hallucinations? So
Anything is possible, isn't it?
Anything is possible. What do you think about this? As I said, I visualize it it happens when I'm sleeping, and sometimes I just visualize it. It doesn't have to be that the experience is near or about to happen.
I'll tell you, what we know about ourselves as humans is that we tend to want to explain everything, and some things defy explanations. Nonetheless, we try to explain things. So I suppose the skeptics are doing that when they're suggesting that these hallucinations are in fact explainable. But some things are just not worthy or not capable of being explained.
Wow.
Anyway, this is what we'll be talking about in this segment, and it's notably dubbed The Unexplained.
The Unexplained.
So we're going to watch this video with a person explaining what their near-death experience was like.
Wow.
My name is Jessie Sawyer, and I've had a near-death experience. If anybody had told me 10 years ago that I would have had a near-death experience, I would not have believed them. I didn't believe in these things. I didn't even believe in God anymore. I had started becoming sick, and I was going to different doctors and specialists, and nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. And eventually, after about 9 months of different tests and smaller procedures, they decided that a hysterectomy would help them kind of get a better idea of what was happening inside of me. They didn't find anything wrong on the inside. They did a uterine and ovarian biopsy, and everything was clear. So after 2 nights in the hospital, I was released to go home. It'd probably only been 6 to 8 hours, and I just felt this extreme pain in my stomach. It felt like someone had taken out my insides and put them in a blender, blended them on low power, poured gasoline on them, lit them on fire, and then shoved them back inside of me. So my husband rushed me to the ER. They admitted me. I had very low blood pressure. My heart rate was 145. I was running a low-grade fever, and they did some scans and found out that I was bleeding internally. I didn't have enough blood in my system to really put me back into a surgery. So I started receiving antibiotics. I had blood transfusions. It was probably between like 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And when I slept, there was no way I ever could escape the pain. But I'm staring at the wall, and it was like, the best way I can describe it is that my eyes opened, and then they opened again. And when they opened again, I was in this endless, misty, white room. It was like just this space. And the very first thing that I realized was that I was able to stand up straight, which is something that I hadn't been able to do since the surgery. And I was astonished at how perfect I felt. No pain. I felt like the perfect version of myself. And so that really stuck with me. And in the distance, I saw somebody kind of waiting. And I immediately, even though I didn't see this person at first, I immediately recognized who it was. And it was one of my best friends named Anthony, who had died about 2 years before. And I was just so happy to see him. I wanted to run up to him. I wanted to hug him. I wanted to tell him how much everybody missed him. And then I realized that this was about me. This wasn't some joyous reunion, that something serious was happening. And then behind Anthony and to my right, the light started to appear. And that's when I realized that this was death. This was my death. And Anthony was there to take me home. The light started off as this shimmer, and then it grew. There's no way you can describe it. It is the most profound, most unconditional love. And the light is everything that ever was and ever will be. I instantly felt connected to the entire universe. I kind of was presented a choice. I had something called a life review, where I was shown the impact that I had during my life on the world around me. It wasn't judgmental, it was more subjective. It was, this is the energy that you put into the world during your life, and I love you. I'm part of you.
I went in.
That was deep.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what do you say to that after hearing that? Because she remembers it so vividly. And everything that she said, quite frankly, makes a lot of sense to me if I were to think about what my idea of death is. I mean, there are certain things that are left out.
Yes.
But based on what I said I saw in movies and so on, in her account of this white light. But not only that, it's also that sense of reunion that she was going to have with her dearly departed friend.
Yes.
And that he was going to usher her into the afterlife, so to speak. Very profound.
Very profound. And that would not have been the only experience I would have heard of. But people are always saying, they're always shown their lives. So it's like a second chance to come back and do better. As she said, hers was subjective, and it wasn't that bad. But it's like a second chance to come back and do better and treat people better.
I just want to take away from this segment, quite frankly, that moment when, we could all imagine that we're going to be shown our lives. It's like what she said, life review. Mm-hmm. What is the energy that we put out into the universe? What is the impact that we have on the people around us? And not just that, but the world, because realistically, the impact that we have on the person around us, they can then go on and make an impact on people around them. And so for me, the impact is really immeasurable.
Yes.
It's almost like a domino effect. What stood out for me in this, though, was also the part where she said there was a sense of connectivity with the universe, everything that ever was, everything that will be, that sort of connected nature, which says to us that we came from a unitary place. We came from the same place.
Yeah.
We're all connected. And finally, everything is going to make sense.
Yes. We came from it and we're going back to it. Yeah.
Well, let's hear neurobehavioral scientist Dr. Bruce Grayson explain more about the near-death experience.
But scientists don't run away from things they don't understand, they run towards them. I never expected to spend so much time looking into near-death experiences. I thought at first it was just a strange anomaly. I'd spend a few years looking at them, find the physiological explanation, and put it behind me. I collected about 1,000 cases that people had sent to me about their own near-death experiences. Quickly realized that the stories I was getting from people who volunteered their stories to me were the same as the ones from people I interviewed in the hospital. We studied the physiological events around the near-death experience, psychological traits of the experiencers, and so forth, trying to find some logical explanation for these events. Most of us are taught that the mind is what the brain does, that all our thoughts, our feelings, our perceptions, our memories are all created by the brain. However, that's not the whole story, and we have hundreds and hundreds of experiences that occur during a cardiac arrest or deep anesthesia when we know the brain is not capable of functioning well enough to create complex thoughts and feelings and memories. Most near-death experiencers say that in the near-death experience, their senses were incredibly heightened, and they often report hearing sounds they'd never heard on Earth and seeing colors that they'd never seen before. And when they come back, they don't know how to describe these things because there aren't words for them to describe them. One person said to me, it's like trying to draw an odor with a crayon. But they talk about their senses being so much more vivid in the NDE, and that gives the experience a sense of being more real than this world is. Most near-death experiencers are...
One of those. I already experienced fighting out of my sleep to get back into the conscious world, and that's rough. I don't like it.
What I like about what the doctor said, and it does make sense to me, I'm one of those people who tends to think that the world as we know it isn't all that there is.
It is.
And when I say that, some people smile, they don't understand exactly what I mean, because I think that we have this way of thinking about life based on our own experiences. And so when I hear that people who've had near-death experiences can't describe or can't put into words their experiences, what he said was, it was great imagery when he said, it's like trying to draw an odor with a crayon.
That's weird.
And you get it, because it's like, how do you use your sense of sight to explain your sense of smell? These are the things that you never thought were possible before, and so you can't explain them in the world that you know.
Yeah, because people are going to think you're cuckoo.
Apart from thinking about that, it's like the reality is that there is more than we know, and there is more than we are able to explain. And I think that is one of the things that I take away from what he's saying.
Explain an experience to me, because that's a different experience. It's a whole, because we don't get to experience that daily.
True.
So yeah.
Yeah, it says a lot to me about the way that we live too, in terms of our judgments about other things. If I were to take that there, it's like it's outside of my depth of understanding or my familiarity, but it doesn't mean that it's not germane to somebody else's experience. It doesn't inform their decisions. And perhaps what we need to be, or I need to be as a person, is a little more open and understanding, open to the possibility that there are other ways to do things, and there are other experiences other than the ones that I've had. So whether it comes by near-death experience or just an eye-opening segment on NDE.
Yes.
Well, it is what it is, right? We're grateful for them anyway.
So let's lead and live better lives and leave an impact on society, or not only an impact, but a legendary legacy on society, so that when we exit this world, we will forever be remembered.
And think about who's going to watch your life in review. What are they going to find on that reel?
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, we know what you're going to find when you come back. More GMSKN. Stay tuned.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's time for us to loosen up, and to do that, Cortensi and I will attempt to solve some riddles. And we're inviting you to play along with us, and of course to comment on our social media platforms with your answers as well.
Oh man, did you see riddles and I'm stuck? Because I'm thinking riddles, I'm not... How good are we at riddles?
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? So I'm guessing that you're not ready to solve the riddles.
I'm going to try my best.
Okay, I'm going to try.
No, I always try, man.
All righty.
Yeah.
Hopefully none of these riddles takes us to another world. Just putting that out there after the last segment that we had.
Yes.
You're not going to kill us with the riddles, right?
No near-death experiences.
All right, so a girl has as many brothers as sisters, but each brother has only half as many brothers as sisters. Already I'm trying to do the math, and I'm confused. How many brothers and sisters are there in the family? So a girl has as many brothers as sisters, but each brother has only half as many brothers or sisters.
As many. How can it be as many?
So a girl has one brother and one sister. Is that what I'm going with so far?
Mm-hmm.
But each brother has only half as many brothers. No, that can't be one. Let's do the divisible.
I want to say she has none, and then I still want to say she has 2 brothers and 2 sisters. That's the only thing that's coming to mind when I think.
I feel like I need a pen and paper here. But anyway, let's try this again, because honestly, these things are going to perplex my mind. If you guys know what the answers are, put them in the chat. This is going to take a while.
GMSKN Nation, I hope you're playing along, and I hope you already have the answers, because you see, it's boggling the minds of myself and my co-host.
A girl has as many brothers as sisters, but each brother has only half as many brothers
as sisters.
As sisters. Okay, so each brother has half. How does this work?
Okay, I give up. As I said, 0 or 4.
You said 0 or 4. What's your rationale for that? Not the 0, 4.
Because there's no... Only if they...
I need a pen.
Half, that means...
I need a pen. You know why? Because this is like a simultaneous equation.
That's
for
what I'm
me.
thinking. Your mathematic brain is already going down that lane.
I feel like I need a pen, and I don't have a pen. I don't have the benefit of a pen. Those of you who can work this out, go with it. I'm just going to give you a random guess, and I know it's not going to be correct, because I can't possibly work this mentally. It's like... You know, if I were to do it, I'd be like, G is girl, right? B is brother, and S is sister. So she has as many brothers and sisters. So B equals S, right?
But don't forget the half. So where does the half fit in that equation?
Well, that's exactly where we're going with it next. But each brother has only half as many sisters. So B equals... Yeah. No, I need a pen and paper. I'm going to pass. What's the answer?
See,
4 sisters and 3 brothers.
I got half of it correct.
Yeah.
I said 2 and 2.
4 sisters and 3 brothers.
No, I would have never guessed that. Because I just gave up a 2 and 2, 4. So 4 is somewhere in there, but it's not quite correct.
Alrighty.
I wonder if those folks were listening and watching, if they got the answer correct.
And if you did, you know what we want you to do with that? Take a picture of your solution and just like upload it. If you could do that for us, that'd be really great. Or tag us, #GMSKN riddles and data. All right. How can the number 4 be half of 5? Are we dealing with modular things here?
This sounds very mathematical. How can the number 4 be half of 5?
I'm wondering if we're dealing with mods here.
How can the number
Anything's
4?
possible, by the way. Which sounds weird,
4
but
be
anything
half
really
of
is possible.
5? But half of 5 is 2.5.
No, not that. You're not going to deal with it in that way. There's going to be another way that you deal with it. What? Yeah. Interestingly enough. How can the number 4 be half of 5?
What? That's rough.
I feel like I need a pen and paper here. You want to try it? Okay, let's go. 4. Mod. Alrighty. The Roman numeral, oh, so the answer is there. The Roman numeral for 4, which is half the 2, oh, come on, guys. You had me thinking about mods. I was actually prepared to do the mathematics.
Which is half.
But then it's a riddle, and okay, so I need to not be so technical.
Oh,
Interesting.
of the word 5, because when you take a, because of how it's written.
And I can challenge this, by the way, because if I think of the strokes that I need to make to get me the V and the I, there you go. That's 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
So then it's not half, is it? They're not weighted the same.
No.
I can challenge that. Okay. Challenge accepted. Remember that one? All right, here we go.
Man, I wonder if GMSK Nation got that one too. I have keys, but no locks, and no space and no rooms. You can enter, but you can't go outside. What am I? A computer, a keyboard, data.
I think you're right.
A keyboard?
I think you're right. A PC or one of those technical devices, yeah. Keyboard.
Computer.
Although, but technically, there's a
can't
caps
go
lock on
outside.
the computer. So we're going to find out if you're right.
A keyboard.
No, but that technically, hey, I'm going to be technical with you guys right now. There is a caps lock function on the computer. And if I have to look at it, I'm going to say, you know what, there's a lock function.
I got it.
There's a lock function. Who's agreeing with me here? Do you guys understand?
Yeah, I agree in that sense, yeah. Because
Exactly.
it's in no locks, and we can cap lock it. Because if we take off cap lock, then we get back to the common letters. So yeah.
And this is one of the ways that
And they do have a space bar. It just doesn't have any room. You can that is correct.
And this is one of the ways that you challenge
Riddle,
your teachers or whoever gives you the assignments. Challenge intelligently.
Says the teacher.
There you go. It works.
It
People
says
miss
the teacher.
things. A is the brother of B, and B is the brother of C. C is the father of D. So how is D related to A? So I say how are D and A related? All right.
Brother. Aunt. Uncle.
I'm still trying to process it. to be
Uncle
honest
or
with you.
grandpa.
I take a while to do these things.
Or great grandpa.
Oh, so you're guessing? You're just guessing. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try to figure it out. So B and A are siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So C and A could be siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And if C has a child, D, then likely A is the uncle of D, or they're not related at all. So let's try that.
I said uncle, grandpa. I said he's uncle.
All right, there we go. Yeah. Or they could not be related if they were half brothers.
It's either uncle, grandpa, nephew. Yeah. AZ is uncle.
All righty.
We got that. How is 7 different from the rest of the numbers between 1 and 10? Wow.
It has 2 syllables.
That's it? You really think so?
Yeah. The others have 1.
Yeah. That was easy. That was easy. Because when I think about it, yeah. Because I'm trying to divide 8 here.
Oh. Yeah, don't make that mistake.
SEB.
Yeah, that was quick. The more you take, the more you leave behind.
The more you take, the more you leave behind. The more you take.
I'm sorry, is this one of those like bad commercials? The more you spend, the more you save. Don't buy that, by the way.
Don't
Just
you
put it
dare
there.
buy
Don't
that.
buy that. Don't buy that.
The more you take,
The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Oh my gosh, the more you take, the more you leave behind. All those plastic bottles that we throw in the ocean?
No, but you have to take it, which means that you're taking something. So what are you taking?
Yeah, I'm taking the plastic bottle to the sea and leaving it there. And that's not nice.
What are you leaving?
Not me, I don't do that, but that's not nice. The more you take, the more you leave behind.
Wow. It's not time. That makes no sense whatsoever. You're not
How
going to
come?
take time. Take time for yourself and you leave time behind you. No, that makes no sense to me.
And time
This is something with an
eludes you.
unlimited supply, right?
I want to think sand, salt. I just want to think ear.
Are we thinking? If I were thinking scientifically, I'll tell you energy conversion, that sort of thing. But it's
Maybe
not going
it's
to be more
energy.
or less.
What?
The more you take, the more. Come on, seriously?
Fingerprints?
You know how we read this? We read this like the more
Of
you
something that
take
you
of
take,
X,
yeah,
the more of
you
X you leave behind.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
I get it in the point of leaving it behind because you
Yeah.
commit a murder and you forget to wipe it off. I get that part, but I
Gee,
don't
have you
under-
forgotten to wipe off? This
Never
sounds like
committed
some
a murder.
experience, sir.
But I'm just saying from stuff that I see on television.
Oh, just okay.
Yeah.
Nice to put that out there. That's good to know.
No murders for me.
I was going to say the K in your name stands for something else.
I always say, prison doesn't have lazy boys, they don't have a spa, and they don't do perfume, so I can't go there. Yeah.
Got you. All right, so a barrel of water weighs 60 pounds. What must you put in for it to weigh 20 pounds?
40 pounds. You're already doing something else.
No, but it has water in it.
Uh-huh.
So it's not just that the barrel weighs that. The barrel isn't empty. The barrel weighs 60 pounds. Barrel of water weighs 60 pounds. What must you put in it for it to weigh 40 pounds?
A sponge. Sucks up the water. I don't know.
No, but then you're not going to...
Yeah, because you're trying to get some of the water out. What must you put in it for it to weigh 40 pounds? Ear?
I'm honestly going to think heat. If you heat the barrel, then you can evaporate some of the water.
Some of the water.
And that's just me thinking that. But then you will have to be very specific for you to get it to 40 pounds. So that makes no sense to me at all. I'm going to go with heat. If you can give me a hole, I'm going to go with heat because you still have to measure it.
Yes, because the water can come out completely, right?
I'm going to go with heat.
This is just wrong. They're me saying a sponge and, calculate how much a sponge would have gotten.
I'm going with heat. I am correct.
Hole.
We're going to burn the barrel, all right? Here we go. Forget the hole. That's
You're
not enough
upset with the
instruction.
water?
Let's just burn the barrel at once.
Gosh.
You guys are not getting these, are you?
I wonder how. GMSK Nation, you have to tell us how you're doing, if you're doing as good as us or if you're doing as bad
I'm sorry,
as us.
Really?
Wait,
We're doing
I
well?
have to say the good before I say the bad.
I wasn't aware that we were doing well at all.
What word of 5 letters has only one left when 2 are removed? 5 letters only have one when 2 are removed. What word of 5 has only one left when 2 letters are removed? Word of 5? Word. Oh, the Roman numeral again?
No, it says word. So there's a 5-letter word,
That only
which means
have
that there's got to be some repetition in that
a
word.
5-letter word has only one?
Yeah, one left when 2 letters are removed.
It's a 5-letter word.
I'm thinking.
5?
No, there's got to be something. It's repetitive.
6?
No, not like that. It's going to be like double, triple letters, something like that. And effectively, it's made up of 3 letters, I think. That's what we're going with. So it's a 5 spaces for 5 letters, but there's repetition.
Roman numeral 7?
I'm not ready yet. I'm still going to hold this. I'm still going to hold out.
You don't got a time.
Can I hold out all through commercial? Can I hold out that long? What word? I'm getting the no here. I'm getting the no. All right. So what word of 5 letters has only one left when 2 letters are removed? I don't know anymore, but I know it's repetitive.
Seats?
No, you'll need SEATS, stone.
Oh.
What is that?
What word of...
What letters? Wow. Really, guys?
2, 3,
you got
4,
me thinking
5.
about things like teeth and saying, no, I
Has
can't
only
do that.
one left. When?
Wow.
I still don't get it.
You take the S and T out, Hortensia.
I am so sad. I am so...
You're not stoned, are you, right now?
Stone me already.
No, she's not, guys.
Stone me
No, she's not.
already.
That's not what I meant by stoned, Hortensia.
No, but they need to stone me because yeah, just stone me. Like the disciples
Wow.
of old, just stone me.
Wow.
Really?
Do we have a monkey dancing across the screen? Because you guys made monkeys out of us today. I can tell you that right now. All right?
It was rough.
So we'll trade Whiskemus for a monkey and we'll see what happens.
So Monkey Mondays?
Maybe.
You're my brother, but I'm not your brother. Who am I?
You're my sister.
Wow.
At least you guys got easier. They got easier. You guys made them a little easier. Seriously. Wow.
How can you drop a raw egg from a height onto a concrete floor without cracking it?
How can you drop a raw egg from a height onto a concrete floor without cracking the raw egg?
You pour it out of a bowl, man. That's all I could think. Pour it out of a bowl. How can you drop that? Maybe the egg is not laid yet, so the mother can just get in the laying position.
You're going to drop the chicken? Is
The egg comes before the chicken.
Forget chicken run. We'll call it chicken drop.
But in a nice way.
Sad imagery. Sad imagery. I know we just talked about death, but this is not the kind of thing that we had in mind. I pass. There's no way I'm going to get this.
It has to be poured out of a bowl. That's what I thought.
Concrete floors are tough to crack. To crack the floor, not the egg, guys. Seriously.
These riddles are not cool.
Wow. Well, thankfully, this was our last one. Have you ever been happier?
I know.
All right.
Because we're thinking about the egg. When it's the floor, we should be concerned about that it won't crack because it's that tough.
You see, because we're thinking about these things logically. Apparently, the answers defy logic.
They do.
Whoever wrote these questions up, don't worry. At the break, you're going to see a white light because Hortensia and I are going to come for you. Yeah, don't worry. We're coming. We're coming.
Any day.
All right, guys. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon. And to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit today?
Good afternoon. After finding a lump, I visited the health center to see a nurse, and she found a lump as well. Doc, do you think this is the big C? I shouldn't have cancer. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Nobody in my family has ever had cancer.
Slow down, not so fast. Not every lump of the breast is cancerous. The breast goes through a number of changes. It can be a piece of fatty tissue or some other non-cancerous lump of the breast. Either way, I'll have to examine you first to make sure.
Okay. I did not know I was supposed to examine my breast myself.
Yes, the self-breast examination is very revealing. It is the first step in diagnosis. It is important to self-examine your breasts once monthly after you've had your period. That way, you would know how your normal, healthy breasts feel and be able to detect any changes early. If any abnormality is detected, there are more defining tests such as the ultrasound and/or mammogram.
Mammogram? No, I've heard that mammogram thing hurts badly.
I'm sure that most of what you've heard about the mammograms are exaggerated encounters. Here's the referral. Take it to the facility. Before the exam begins, you will have to fill out a short pre-test questionnaire. Let the doctor know if there's a possibility of pregnancy. Leave jewelry at home and wear loose, comfortable clothing. Don't wear deodorant, talcum powder, or lotion under your arms or on your breasts, as these may appear on the mammogram and interfere with correct diagnosis. During the exam, each breast is compressed horizontally between two plates for imaging and then diagonally for further imaging as needed. So how was the experience?
It's not what I expected. My teenage sister found a lump in her breast. Should she get a mammogram too?
All lumps of the breast and changes should be investigated. A mammogram is recommended once a year for every woman aged 40 and over, even younger if there's a family history.
OMG, women have to endure a lot.
Men have to check their breasts too.
Yeah?
Yes, some men do get breast cancer too. So remember, get checked today. Early detection saves lives.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moen Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. With every new season comes new fashion trends. Today, Jamie and I will be looking at the 2022 fall fashion trends and then rating them a yay or a nay. So join the fun by commenting below with a yay or a nay. So Jamie, have you seen any of this year's fall fashion trends? I'm still thinking about the last fashion show we watched.
I know, right? Do I look trendy to you? I don't have the time.
Yeah, you're pretty fashionable.
Well, thank you very much for that compliment, which I didn't go fishing for. Classic. You can't go wrong with classic, honestly.
I guess.
Can't go wrong with classic.
Like I saw Kanye in some black socks with some big old flip-flops with some... I'm like, what's wrong with
It's not Kanye anymore. I saw his interview with Chris Cuomo on News Nation. Remember that guy that got fired from CNN? Yeah. He's in News Nation now. And Kanye informed him in a very, I want to say, rude way that his name is no longer Kanye. He has changed his name to Ye.
Okay.
So if you say the artist formerly known as Kanye, you would be correct. But it is Ye, as in Y-E. All right? It's Ye, Cortencia.
Okay, yay. Okay. I was like, is that a fashion statement?
Listen, you need to check that interview. It's on YouTube. I'm telling you, I was like, it was explosive.
It's going to hurt my head because I saw
it probably hurt Chris's.
He did one with Pierce too, and he basically cut off Pierce. He ended the interview. He did not allow the interview to end it. Yeah, he was like, this interview's over.
Yes.
And it was just a clip I saw on YouTube going up.
And we're talking about Ye. I have to say his name right, Ye, because you talk about how fashionable he was. All right, let's find out if any of these guys seem to replicate Ye's fashion sense or not.
Let's hope not.
And again, it's Y-E, not Y-A-Y.
Oh, this is not bad. This is actually nice.
What are we looking at here?
We're looking at fall fashion. Remember,
I get it, but we're looking at three different people.
Yeah, you're looking at...
We're looking at Megan.
You're looking at... No.
J-Lo. Is this not Megan?
Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And J-Lo. And who's the third one?
Ye's former wife.
Really?
Wife. Yeah, that's Kim Kardashian. Can't see the face? The glasses can't hide. You can see the nose and the lips. Cute.
Oh, he's also, the West thing, not a thing anymore because it's a slave name. So I don't know what that means for North if she's lost her title. In any event, we are doing fashion. J-Lo is always my girl, so loving J-Lo in this one.
And her colors, she just do them well. Anything that she puts on, she wears well. You hardly ever see her getting dumped in the bad basket. Even when Joan Rivers was alive and she used to do, the fashion stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You hardly see J-Lo getting dumped in the basket.
sorry.
J-Lo is always the top fashion for her.
You say Joan Rivers, and I'm craving for a Joan Rivers shot right now on the red carpet. Like, let's see what Joe was wearing, right? Yeah, Megan looks like a Barbie doll, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
She
Kim
does.
just looks like she's wearing an oversized coat. She reminds me of a daughter that wears the extreme big coats. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, J-Lo gets this one. So,
course.
okay, yay for me. What about you?
With J-Lo in the middle, yeah, it gets a yay.
It's a yay.
But if I were to judge it with the ladies on the end, I will say nay.
Well, I think that Kim might actually say no yay. She's
just over the yay.
Okay, definitely.
This
Bomber
is a
jacket,
yay.
Absolutely. Still got one in my closet from all those years ago.
Is it good?
And like Sir Kennedy, it still fits. So hey, yeah, great.
So when you put it on, you don't expect to leave it everywhere you go once you sit, right?
Said that's for winter weather only.
No, but I'm considering the peeling. That may happen because of how long you have it.
Oh.
You don't
Well,
get
no, that happens more with my leather bag that I had since I was in sixth form. I still have it in my closet.
Shucks.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Ooh, this is nice. This is nice. I'll say yay. Nice little lunch date, nice little brunch date. Yeah, this is nice.
We're talking about the clothes or the girl because she looks like a nice little lunch date.
Says Jamie. Woohoo!
She's cute in the outfit. Okay.
And she has the authentic hairstyle. You know, the hairstyle with the part.
Oh, the authentic hairstyle.
Yeah, I don't know
that's
what's
the
it with the
authentic
part in the middle and us women.
Uh-huh.
It just adds some form of elegance to us. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The outfit entirely is elegant anyway.
Yeah.
It's understated, and that's what I like about things. I like things that are a little understated sometimes.
Yeah. Not
They're
too much of
timeless.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing black and white is very formal.
Oh, this is, I would say yay. What do you say, Jamie? Too minimal?
I don't know. She looks like she's wearing oversized clothing here.
Oh, oversized coat is a do. Because look, the previous lunch date that you were speaking about, she's actually wearing an oversized shirt too.
Yeah,
But she made it work.
Well, maybe because the pants were nicer. I don't know.
Jamie's gonna say nay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
on different
yay.
ends on this one.
I can rock this.
Hand-me-down wearing kid is a thing of the past, right? The hand-me-down look, right? It's like, hey, you're trying to fit into things.
Oh.
Oh, please, no. What is this?
What that's Lem's favorite pants?
Are you kidding, Cortensia? Did you just do that? No, you did not.
That's Lem.
Cortensia, we're looking at the look. You did not just do that.
That's Lem's favorite pants.
Guys, is there a rubber bat? Can I get one for Cortensia right now?
What?
Can we get a rubber bat? This is not true. This looks like...
I would say yay for Lem.
You know what this looks like? This looks like every guy in the 90s in...
But I think Lem would wear that.
Not with the socks that high.
See?
Are you serious?
Someone say, see, I paid correct homage. I pay attention.
I'm going to bring some pictures for you guys. Seeing guys in the background of my shots back in 1992, 93, thereabout.
But those
Same
almost look like Yeezys. You know,
Wow.
those things look like alien things.
Wow.
The shoes. So yeah, but in homage.
With the t-shirt and the pants.
Yeah, that's Lem right there. For my friend Lem. Yep.
Okay.
Oh. This is cool because this is in. Yeah. The Dr. Doc Martens.
Uh-huh.
Those are cool. The pants are cool. I see those coming back and the nice little top. And she got the funky hair like me and her nice little bag. Yeah.
I'm loving the shoes. That's actually why I gave this a yay.
Doc Martens?
Yeah,
Okay,
loving
so-
the shoes.
Nice. Yeah, Doc Martens are the ish.
By the
They're
way,
strong,
she needs to look mean. She's smiling. I don't think
No.
that look goes well with somebody who looks like they can kick you to next Tuesday. Just saying.
And
She's got fighter vibes.
that is the cover.
Oh,
Because
I
you
see.
wouldn't think that she can do that. Huh?
Oh, I see.
Nice girl, mess with me. You end
Oh,
up in the
that's what it
corner.
is.
Wapow. Yeah.
Now I know.
Not too bad at all. Why is she taking her pillow to work?
All right, so we've got this.
Why is her
That's
pillow
all.
going to work?
Here's what I see. I see the same top in the three shots. So are we looking at the top or are we looking at the ways that we can wear the top? Because the first one is cool for me.
Yeah.
The second one is very sophisticated. The third one, I'm a little distracted by whatever she's holding. And maybe the colors on the skirt and the boots look a little too near for me to appreciate it. So I don't know.
So this is laid back. This is a brunch date, exec date, and this is the bougie dress up part. The last one with the pillow, taking her pillow to work day.
I don't know. Taking her pillow to work day.
Yeah.
Guys, you hear that? Tomorrow is designated take your pillow to work day.
But
So
don't lie on it.
when we come here, why not? I'm loving the second one the best, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a
Because it
yay.
has
I'll
to
give it a
has
yay.
to be yay because it have two workable looks. Yeah.
The third one isn't bad. I just think that maybe she needed a little more contrast on the bottom. That's all.
Yeah.
It's a little too close for me.
Oh, this is a definite yay. Yeah, this is nice. Why
Wait,
you
are we
looking at
supposed to like put ourselves into these things? As if I'm thinking, how would I look? And I'm sorry I say that now because somebody's gonna Photoshop my face into this thing. Really shouldn't have said that.
Anthony?
Yeah. How are we? Oh no! I saw the guys. Cortentia just gave our team a really bad idea.
A great idea.
Okay.
I would say yay. He looks chic.
Did I say yay? Sorry, no.
You say nay? Why not? You don't like the
I
fur?
don't like it. I just don't like it.
I think it's workable.
I just don't like
And
it.
the
I
fact
guess,
that he's giant, it looks nice on him.
I guess.
I guess I like a lot of furs. I had this coat from Zara,
Mhm.
and it had this. It looked like no Chewbacca. It looked so. My sisters named the coat Chinchi, like for chinchilla, because the arms are like sticking out with here, and then it was just a coat in the middle. But, you know, Zara do nice stuff.
Yeah. Sure, it looks good.
Aw. He's gonna say yay.
course
Simple
I'll say yay.
turtleneck. It's
Yeah.
yay. It's not bad, so I won't down it. It's actually
Classic.
nice.
I'm just a classic kind of person. It's
Yeah.
timeless.
Simple.
Really. Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you guys want to get me anything for Christmas, yeah, you're getting the hints in fashion, right? What I like.
Maybe all of
Yeah.
us here can knit you something.
Knit me something. That's fine. You crochet now. we had that guest on who does that. The crochet
She can help us.
artist. That was
Yeah,
interesting.
she
to
can
do.
help us out, man. Oh, black is always the thing.
Yes.
Black is always. But why do you have name?
I don't know. I can't read.
This is nice. This is nice.
Yeah.
You can go out in the morning in this, you can go lunch in this, and you can dress it up with some shoes in the night. Bam. Outfit for the club or to dinner.
Outfit for the club. All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the fall time, because you know the cold starts coming in
Mhm.
now. Yeah. So that's nice. And she
Alright.
compliments it nice, smile and all.
Have you ever thought that something is so bad that it looks good? This is me on this one. I'm just kidding. It's like, it is so bad that there are elements that actually work. When you're going for the, I
This
don't know.
look like a coming to America.
Yeah, exactly. Young diplomat, homeless look. Is that what?
Young, educated diplomat, homeless look. Huh.
It's like,
And
you know,
you yay it?
I've got my jacket and my hat from my previous life, but, you know, yeah, my pants got left in the house.
I need those jackets. I need that jacket though. It's shiny.
It's like,
It's shiny.
listen to me. I said yay because the top of the jacket worked. The shirt even works to a little bit extent. The pants, however, they don't.
No, they look like gangsters. Gangsters.
Can we do a half a yay? Can we do an A? Can we do a
No.
maybe? I don't know.
No, I want.
Hey, that's actually kind of cool. I would take the jacket and ditch everything else. Like seriously.
Yeah, the jacket is funky.
So what are we advertising here? The look or the jacket? I don't get it.
This-
Yay for the jacket. Definitely.
Yeah. Why are the shoes on the fashion runway becoming uglier? Listen, I saw some shoes on a recent on my YouTube research, and the ladies could hardly walk in them because too they're tied up around their ankles, and some of those ladies are really skinny, and these shoes are really big. Maybe they're not that heavy as they look, but
They're trained, Cortesia. It's part of the job. It's part of the course.
did you see the one where this model? I don't know if the shoes is too big or if it's too small, but you saw how she walked her feet together.
I don't see that.
She was even holding on to the patrons as she go, and they were trying to help her because she couldn't. She was just going like.
You think she's going to get booked for any similar jobs anytime soon?
It's not her fault. The shoes is uncomfortable.
Really?
Poor girl, she doesn't want to force it.
You've got to sell it. You've got to sell it.
How?
You've got to sell it.
I was going to take those shoes off and sell everything else.
Oh, really?
Because those shoes were uncomfortable for the poor girl. That looks like a prison jumpsuit with color.
And you said yay.
I said nay. Oh.
Orange is the new black, is that it? That's the look that you're going for?
Orange is the new and look, the shoes, everything says prison, you know? You realize?
Ah.
Yeah, everything about that outfit says prison in brown.
Wow, okay, so...
So we can coin this prison in brown.
Prison in brown.
Yeah. The shoes, the socks, no, that's a prison uniform. All it needs is the numbers. And for the back to say which county jail or prison it belongs to, or penitentiary it belongs to. Yeah. No.
That would actually be an upgrade on our uniforms here.
Prison uniform again in jean? No.
Guys, no, I'm sorry.
No.
I don't know what this is. Is this like a version of a onesie? I don't. What is this?
A man's onesie, but it's a jail onesie. I don't like it. I remember when they brought out
onesie, but a jail onesie.
a jail onesie, because that's what they wear in jail, a onesie.
I think we need to ask the younger people. Well, and the older, we should ask the public actually, because if like, imagine you were a parent, right, and this guy comes up on the street, he just happens to be talking to your teenage daughter. Like, what would you think? First impressions.
His eventuality is he's going to jail.
Wow, Cortezia, that's terrible. No, we don't go to jail based on, well, you go to fashion jail.
Guys, I'm being sarcastic, but this is not cool. Maybe, as you said, maybe if we had the younger generation.
Can we get the price of this outfit? I'm serious. I'm thinking this costs $100.
Yeah, it's probably pricey.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Quality looks good, but hey, you know what? That's a wrap for us. Kind of wish we had the guy in a wrap, right? Step, but hey, can't win them all, Cortezia.
We so can't. We so can't. But stay tuned. Much more after this.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Good morning. This is Kayana Paris and support from Paris Lamont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Well, it's time of the program when we say goodbye, so we want to thank you for joining us today for another edition of GMSK and Tune In Daily, where you will find a little bit of everything for everyone. And remember to get everyone in your circle to watch. So you can post about us on your social media channels. You can tell your neighbors and tell the friends that we are on. And we're also on Channel 4 locally as well. So remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 Inc. That's Studio 327 INC. And Instagram at Good Morning SKN. Like, subscribe, follow, share, and check out our website at studio327inc.com to find out more about GMSKN and Studio 327, and also use the hashtag Hortensia GMSKN.
GMSKN, indeed. And this is the part where we invite you to leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. See you tomorrow on Tuesday, yes, Tuesday at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN. Remember to leave a good mark on whomever you encounter today so that your legacy will always be remembered. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys.